On November 1st, 1955, in the state of Colorado, USA, precisely at 6:10 p.m., the plane carrying Flight 629 arrived at the Colorado Springs Airport. After landing, preparations for another flight began, including refueling and maintenance. Once ready, passengers boarded the plane, and everything seemed normal. The flight took off, and air traffic control was supposed to communicate with the pilot to check on him and the passengers. During their second attempt to contact the pilot, there was no response. Air traffic controllers tried again multiple times, but to no avail. What was happening? Inside the plane, an unknown explosion occurred, lasting for a minute over the skies of Colorado. Everyone in the area rushed outside upon hearing the loud blast. A woman living nearby was in her kitchen when she heard a thud coming from her front yard. She went out to investigate and found a burning airplane seat in her garden. Literally, the plane had disintegrated into many parts, creating a horrifying scene. Firefighters spent 4 continuous days extinguishing the fire. What happened to the passengers? The passengers were completely incinerated. 44 people lost their lives, including 39 passengers and 5 crew members. Now the question arises, what caused the sudden explosion without prior warning? What lies behind it? Yes, there is a criminal responsible for this explosion. Was this the smartest crime committed in the 19th century? The police searched extensively, but couldn't find any evidence regarding the explosion. Moreover, local residents did not assist the police. Instead, they looted passenger luggage and aircraft debris. Police officers worked tirelessly to gather all remaining wreckage and reassemble the plane to uncover conclusive evidence as to whether it was sabotage or a mechanical failure. However, the police determined that it could not have been a mechanical issue because if there had been one, the plane would have fallen first and then exploded. But this explosion happened mid-air. After a week of investigation, the police pinpointed the exact location of the explosion. It was at the rear of the plane. This report ruled out the possibility of mechanical failure causing the explosion. There was a criminal involved in this case, and the police had to catch him. But there's a question. How did the explosives pass the security checks on the plane? After months of searching, the police managed to locate the bag that was the source of the explosion. The bag belonged to an elderly woman named Daisy King, aged 53. Upon discovering that the bag belonged to Daisy King, the police immediately headed to her house to interrogate her children for more information about her. Daisy's children were a man named Jack and a girl named Helen. After Daisy became widowed for the second time, their financial situation deteriorated significantly, worsening over time. Due to the immense pressure Daisy faced, she sent Jack to an orphanage and never visited him once. She married a third husband, and Jack's situation remained dire. However, the marriage didn't last long, and her third husband passed away, leaving her widowed again. This time, she inherited a large fortune, since her husband was extremely wealthy. She lived luxuriously with her daughter, while Jack remained in the orphanage. The question now is, why would Daisy do this and blow up the plane? But the truth is that although Daisy carried the bomb onto the plane, she wasn't the one who planted it, and she had no idea that there was a bomb in her bag. This made the matter very complicated for the police. Years passed after Daisy was widowed by her third husband, yet she never took Jack from the orphanage. Jack grew up, dated a girl, and eventually got married. At this point, Daisy's conscience awakened, and she took responsibility for Jack's wedding, buying him a house to make up for the lost years. She even opened a restaurant in Colorado, where Jack became her business partner, gradually improving his life. Going back to the day Daisy and her son Jack arrived at the airport, she was carrying the bag containing the explosives, which was unusually heavy. Airport staff noticed this, prompting the security officer to tell Daisy to either reduce the weight of the bag or pay an additional fee of $15. Daisy really wanted to reduce the weight to avoid the fine, but Jack insisted that she pay the extra amount. I think now the person behind the explosives has surfaced. Yes, Jack was the one who planted them. Why did Jack put explosives in the bag? The reason goes back 2 months before the incident. Daisy and Jack owned a chain of restaurants, and though Jack appeared to be just a nominal partner to the public, he was actually the manager behind the scenes. The restaurants were initially successful, but later started failing. Daisy wanted to sell the chain, which would leave Jack unemployed. So Jack needed a plan to dissuade her from selling. Initially, Jack tried to handle the situation peacefully, but Daisy was adamant. He began contemplating ending Daisy's life. How did the police figure out the story? After the incident, they met with Jack's wife and asked her about Jack's recent behavior. She mentioned that in the past few days, Jack had been returning home with electrical wires and going down to the basement. Also gave Daisy a box as a gift for Helen, insisting that she not open it. The police found bomb-making equipment in the basement. As for the bomb, Jack set the timer for 6:10 p.m. When the FBI apprehended Jack and detained him for several days, he eventually confessed to everything. Before his sentence was carried out, Jack stated, "I felt a sense of power I'd never felt in my life. I realized the plane carried nearly 50 people. It could have held 1,000, but the number of people killed didn't matter to me." Jack was sentenced to death, and the verdict was carried out on January 1st, 1957, bringing an end to this criminal's life. And the story ends here.